Can you introduce yourself to my audience?
Absolutely. My name is Matthew Harms. I am a New York-based writer, coach, speaker, and my two most recent books are Employed, a Career Readiness Manual, which is geared toward helping people find what they're passionate about and then succeeding or landing a job or career. And my other one is titled Grow Up, No Seriously, which is all geared for life skills for young people in today's environment.
Okay, so you are a professional speaker and writer.
I am, yes. I've spent most of my career actually doing finance, banking, but writing and coaching others has always been something I was passionate about. So in the last 2 years, I've completely transitioned into just writing and coaching and speaking full time.
Okay, so what actually made you to select this thing, the writing?
What made me select being a writer?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I've enjoyed writing since I was very young. It's always something I've been passionate about. And then unfortunately, somewhere along the line, we get told to go to school, go to college, get a job. And then I forgot how much I enjoyed doing it until too many
Actually, you're
years.
sorry. Actually, you're out of the screen.
Well, I'm sorry.
You're out of the screen. You are not fitting in the screen. Yeah.
Okay. Am I in now?
Yeah. Now it's good. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, after many years of doing things I didn't like, I finally realized that life is too short not to focus on the things we really enjoy and that we're good at. So I quit my job and just started writing full time.
Okay. And what is the genre that you like most to write?
So I have two favorite genres. My personal favorite is fiction. I love writing fantasy or thrillers, like murder mystery. My other favorite genre is on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, which the two books I mentioned are in. Nonfiction self-help. I really enjoy um, teaching other people the things I've learned over the years and helping them avoid making some of the same mistakes that I've made.
Okay. What are the mistakes that you made?
Listening to other people. And sometimes it's good to listen to other people, but we need to be aware of who we're listening to. So if someone isn't where you want to be in life, don't take their advice, right? If it's just someone who thinks they know better and they tell you, oh, you need to go to school or you should do this, chances are they're not going to get you where you want to be. If you want to be a writer, talk to other writers. If you want to be a scientist, talk to other scientists, find out what they did to become successful at what they do. A lot of times it's easy just to talk to our friends and the people that we hang out with, and everyone has an opinion. Those
Okay.
opinions aren't necessarily going to help you because they don't have any expertise in that field.
Absolutely. And how to know that this person is giving me advice which works and this person is giving me advice which is not, which doesn't work for me? How can we know?
Well, it's sometimes hard to know someone's giving you advice that's not going to work. That's kind of how I got stuck. Um, if you do what I said before and basically focus primarily on are they an expert in the field you want to go into, that's going to help. Sometimes the people that are the biggest offenders at giving us bad advice are the
Okay.
people that love us the most and want to see us succeed, like our parents, people in our family, our friends, but they don't they don't know what drives you, right? They don't know what you really want to do. They're just giving you the things that have worked for them through their life. So a lot of times I would say be very selective when we listen to our family and our friends. If something they tell you you think you want to do, still seek an expert, get a coach, get a mentor, right? Have someone in your desired profession that you can reach out to on a weekly or monthly basis, and just ask them again, how did you get to where you are? Or this is what I'm going through. What would you do if you're me? Listen to the
Okay.
people who are where you want to be.
Okay. So what is mistake?
So I'm sorry.
What is mistake? Mistake.
So maybe I used the wrong word before, because I've actually, one of the things I've learned, there are no mistakes in life. It's only a mistake if you don't learn from it. So mistakes are things that maybe, if I can go back in time now, do I wish 15 years ago I had just started writing, and would my life be completely different right now? Maybe I'd have 10 books out. Maybe I'd be on the New York Times bestseller list. Maybe. But in that time, I also learned an awful lot from the things that I did. I've taken a lot of the knowledge I got from working in the financial industry, from working in banks, from working with students and coaching people. I've been able to absorb that information and incorporate it into my writing and into the people that I work with now. So I think the biggest lesson to be learned is it's only a mistake if you don't learn from it.
Yeah. What are the loopholes that you find in the people to whom you are saying?
I'm sorry, what are the what in the people?
What are the loopholes that you find in the people to whom you are saying all these things?
Did you say loopholes?
Yeah, loopholes. The things which you see that is a mistake in them.
Well, number one is the one that I've been speaking about is really listening to people. There are a lot of people that I coach who will tell me, oh, well, this person told me to do this. Or, in school, they told me this. School can be great. I went to college, but a lot of what they teach us in school isn't practical in the real world. So we have to be able to identify, how do we apply what we learned in the real world? So that's definitely one of the biggest things that I try to teach people. That's why I like working with younger people more so than older people, because younger people, it's still early enough to show them different ways to look at the things they're learning. Once you get to the point of your career, like maybe where I am at my age, it's harder to retrain myself to think at things differently.
Okay, what exactly works for you to be successful?
The biggest thing to being successful is you have to do it every single day. There's no vacations, there's no holidays. You first need to believe in yourself. Second, you need to commit that you are going to be successful. You can't just say, oh, well, maybe this isn't what I want to do. You have to be 100% committed, ready to go, and treat it like it's life or death. Professional athletes, no matter where you are in the world, if it's American football players, soccer players, they didn't get to where they are by just practicing on the weekends. They practice every single day. You need to do the same thing with what you want to do in your life. If you want to be a writer, you need to write every single day. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be planned, but you have to do it. If you want to be a chef, you have to cook every single day. Whatever it is, you have to perfect what you do. And as long as you look at it that way, it's almost impossible not to be successful.
How many people got affected because of your words?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. I would like to believe everyone who's bought my book, read my blog, followed me on Instagram that I've worked with. I've worked with a number of junior high school students over the last year, so a couple hundred. I'd like to believe that even if I made an impact on 5% of them, I feel very good about what I've done.
Okay, so what are the common things that most of the people do that are wrong?
I think the biggest thing that I probably have done myself is we doubt ourselves. We don't think we're good enough, right? You think or we compare ourselves to other people. So if you want, I'll keep using writing since I'm a writer. If I keep comparing myself to someone like Stephen King or Anne Rice, it's very easy to say, oh my goodness, I'll never get to where they are. But once you tell yourself that, it's going to be true. You're never going to get to where they are. But once you realize, I don't need to be Stephen King. I don't want to be Anne Rice. I want to be Matt Harms. And as long as I believe in myself and I keep doing what I'm doing, eventually I'm going to carve out my own place in the world. And hopefully there'll be a point years down the road where people are saying the same thing about me.
So why you want to speak with your book? Why God?
Up the connection broke up there a little bit. You said, why do I want to speak about my book?
Why you want to speak with the people using your book? Why can't you speak with your vocal cord?
So interesting you ask that. And that's why I'm having this conversation with you today. I've realized writing, I love writing. So that's never going to stop. Even people who give speeches, they write it down first, or they have someone write it down, right? When the president of the United States gives a speech, someone writes that for him. Corporate CEOs, trainers, they all write at least an outline of what they want to say first. So writing is the foundation, at least I believe, of being able to deliver a message. But you
Yeah.
gave me this opportunity today, and I love it. I've recently started doing some interviews on LinkedIn with some of my colleagues, and I think what you said is really, really powerful because there are a lot of people who receive messages in different ways. Not
Yeah.
everyone likes to read. Not everyone has the focus to read an entire book. So when you're able to comfortably and eloquently adapt what you've written into a verbal conversation, you're able to reach a lot more people.
So why I'm asking this question because your voice have that bass which can create impact, and you also have a speech content in yourself. I think if you deliver using your vocal cord, it reaches more people and it creates more impact than definitely than your writing. I'm sure you're very good in writing with your confidence. I can imagine that. But if you show that using your vocal cord, if you tell the message to the world, definitely it reaches to a large number of audience, and definitely that will be useful for more people, and it will be beneficial for them to build their career or for their personal growth.
I appreciate that. Believe it or not, one of the things I've been meaning to get around to doing is starting a podcast.
Okay.
And now that you've mentioned this, I promise you, as long as you are agreeing, as soon as I have it up, you will be my first guest, and I will interview you on my podcast about how you got into doing these video interviews.
Definitely, I'll be honored. I'll feel blessed because I want to be a part of a series of a person who is very confident about things and doing things. And I want to ask you one more question. In your when you're feeling negative mind state, how will you come out?
Oh, when you're feeling a negative mind state, yeah, that's a rough one. I mean, we all go through points where something happens. It just it's really difficult. The best advice I could offer, at least what works for me, take a break. Like, don't try to force getting anything done when you're in a negative mind state, because I'm going to use a great saying that I just heard today on another call. Activity isn't productivity. So you can do something when you're in a negative mind state, and when you look at it later, you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, what was that? That's horrible. The best thing to do is really take some time for yourself. Try to figure out why you're feeling negative. Reflect. I'm trying to do more like meditation. I know for some people, yoga works, silent reflection, or refocus. I personally think about the things that are important to me, right? My children, why do I do what I do? How that makes me feel, and then try to change that mind state instead of fighting it, because there's no point of fighting being in a bad mood. It's going to happen. We just need to embrace it and then change it.
Sometimes you'll be facing a mindset, everything around you, will not allow you to do something that you love. Everything that you implement, that becomes negative, or every response that you do, that will be negative. Everything will be negative. But still, how can you be positive in that time?
So the only thing you can control in the world is you, right? I can't I can't give everyone the answer because everyone thinks differently. But there are always going to be people who try to bring you down. There's always going to be people who think that you didn't do something good enough, or who have criticism that maybe you don't agree with. The best thing you can do is try to take a learning experience away from everything, because not all negative criticism is useless. Sometimes there's a lesson in everything. And if we can get past how it makes us feel, we can look at that criticism or that negativity and find a lesson in it, and then turn that into positivity or turn it into a learning experience. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that there's a magic way to always make the negativity go away and feel better. Sometimes you need to just turn your phone off, sit down, watch TV, read a book, go to sleep, and start over the next day. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all humans. We all need to do what works for us. The only thing you absolutely cannot do is keep focusing on the negative thing that happened. Because as long as you keep thinking about it and saying, no, it's never going to go away. You need to just deal with it, push it out, do whatever you need to do to forget about it, and then move on.
Awesome. Actually, I run out of time. You gave only 15 minutes to me. Thank you so much. Do you have anything to say to the world who watches this video at last?
All I want to say is, one, I thank you very much for taking the time out. I hope your audience really appreciates what you do in bringing different people on to get their points of view and share the things they've learned, because we all have individual experiences. Also like to share that, anyone can do anything, right? If the current environment has taught us anything, you control your destiny. Whatever you want to do in life, you just need to go after it. I hope that anyone reading this who needs any more confidence or education on anything that I've written, career, finance, picks up my book. I'm available on my website, which you can happily put at the bottom of this link when you post it. I'm always available for people to ask me questions, give me feedback. I love interacting with my audience, and it would be a pleasure to hear from anyone who watched this video that wants to interact with me.
Definitely, I'll share the link, and the people who wants to connect with you will definitely reach you out. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time, and thank you so much for telling a lot of good things in this video.
Thank you so much for having me. And again, once the podcast is up, you are my first guest.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You got it, my friend.
Have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah.